Okay. First, sorry, I forgot my book at home. So, secondly, tomorrow night I'm not going to have a wedding, but so I want to talk a little bit about Parshat Zachor, which is this Shabbos.
And it's 4.
Now, there's 4 special Shabbosim. Like we learned, there's Parshat Shkolim, then Parshat Zachor, then Parshat Parah, and then Parshat HaChodesh. Okay, the Gemara speaks about these 4 days. Parshat Shkolim is we speak about the obligation of the Jews bringing the half a shekel every year. Parshat Zachor is to remember there's a biblical mitzvah in the Torah, a positive and a negative biblical mitzvah, to remember what Amalek did and never to forget what Amalek did. So there's a biblical positive mitzvah and a negative mitzvah. So therefore, Parshat Zachor this week is a biblical mitzvah for all men to hear Parshat Zachor. Whether women are obligated, we'll get to in a minute. Now, Parshat Shkolim is only rabbinic. Parshat HaChodesh is rabbinic. Parshat Parah, when we speak about the Parah Aduma, that is an argument whether it's biblical or rabbinic, and Alter Rebbe says it's only rabbinic, it's not biblical. So the only real biblical parsha that everybody has to listen to is Parshat Zachor, and which tells again that what Amalek did. So you have to make sure, because it's a biblical mitzvah, you have to make sure that the Sefer Torah you read it from is a properly kosher Sefer Torah, not a questionable one. Secondly, you have to make sure that the person who is reading Parshat Zachor is a halachic adult. Now, halachically, what makes an adult is 2 pubic hairs. Now, at the age of 13, we assume that the boy has it. But it says when it comes to Parshat Zachor, many people, because sometimes you have a kid that's bar mitzvah the week of Parshat Zachor, that's the bar mitzvah parsha, right? Like you. And in many places, they won't let the bar mitzvah kid read the Torah for Parshat Zachor because he just turned 13. We're not 100% sure. And it's a biblical mitzvah. So the best thing is, number one, that a Sefer Torah should be 100% kosher. And not only that, that it should be a definite adult, a person who's definitely over bar mitzvah obligated to read the Torah for everybody else. Secondly, because a mitzvah needs kavanah, you need to have an intent. So the reader has to have an intent that he's fulfilling, he's reading it for the community, that they should listen. The people in the community have to have in mind that they also want to listen to the mitzvah of Parshat Zachor. Okay, now some people say that technically you can fulfill the obligation even just reading it from a chumash. But again, for men at least, the obligation is that you have to go to shul and listen to a Sefer Torah. Now what happens if for whatever reason it is, somebody can't read it? They're not able to make it to shul. They don't have a minyan. Or whatever. It happens in many places. Somebody, God forbid, gets sick. They can't go to shul. So then the din is, according to almost all opinions, you could fulfill your obligation, Purim morning. The Torah reading of Purim is not the same one as Parshat Zachor, but it also speaks about Amalek. And therefore, if you couldn't, for whatever reason it is, hear the Torah Parshat Zachor, so at least you make sure when you're in shul Purim morning and they read the Torah, you should have in mind that you're fulfilling your obligation of the mitzvah of Parshat Zachor. In fact, somebody asked an interesting question. They don't have a minyan, okay? But they have a lot of people over for Friday night meal this coming week, let's say. They have a lot of people over that are not religious. And they're giving them, a taste of religious Judaism, of Shabbos. The problem is, but he won't have a minyan. So should he cancel all the guests and pick himself up and go to a place where there is a minyan for Parshat Zachor? Or can he just rely and listen to it and Parshas put him in the morning? So I told him, based on all the facts involved, he could stay home, make sure that people have a Shabbos thing, talk about the mitzvahs and put him and everything, and put him morning, go make sure to listen to the Torah reading of Parshat Zachor. Okay? Now, some people have a minhag when they say Amalek, they bang their feet, like Purim, when you bang Haman. Some people have a minhag that they bang the Tzfadim have such a minhag. When they say Mochet Timcha Zecha Amalek, they bang their feet on the show. But you have to make sure that you can't make a lot of noise, because people have to hear what the Baal Korah is saying. Why do we say Zachor Zachor? Because there's two opinions in the Maseidah. Is it Zachor or Zecher? So the Rebbe brings out from the Torah said, but not only that, a lot of opinions say that you read Zachor Zecher. 1 second. Not only Chabad. I saw a lot of places also here. It's Mincha Shai, because there's difference of Nakudah, Zegel, there's a Segel of Seder. So we do both. Not only that, many places they do both. You read Zachor Zecher or Zecher Zecher, depending which one. I know, the question is, do you read it, is the proper reading Zecher or Zecher? So you do both. What?
The meaning is the same, right?
If somebody read either one of the two, they fulfill their obligation. But the question is, which is the right Maseidah? What is the right tradition? So the Sfarim that deal with it, in Parshat Seitze it's a Tzeda, and in over there it's with a Segel, whatever, there's different opinions what you do. But in Parshat, by us Parshat Zachor, in Seitze, we read and Parshas B'Shalach, Purim, we read So there's just a different custom, even which one to go first. But Vaad Din, if somebody read one of the two, they fulfilled their obligation of Parshat Zachor. What? I just said before that the minhag is a kid doesn't lane because you want to make sure that he's 100% bar mitzvah.
So if you know for sure he has two sides?
You mean you check them out? You check them out, so then... Huh? The what? Yeah, but a kid at 13 usually doesn't have... Oh, B'chal, there's a din in even for witnesses, by the way. In Choshen Mishpat, there's a din. Ideally, you don't take a bar mitzvah kid for a witness. In biblical things, when you need a witness, for a chuppah, for things like that, the custom is you don't take somebody until they're 18. Because then already they start growing a beard. That itself is a sign that the person's an adult. So for these things, again, Parshat Zachor and witnesses and testimony like that, in many places they won't let the bar mitzvah kid read it. Okay, what happens if somebody's in a situation there's no Sefer Torah? So you should take a chumash and read, just at least that thing. Okay, a person's in jail, you could bring a Sefer Torah for that.
When I was in jail.
What?
When I was in jail.
Yeah? I have one question. Why didn't they keep you there? You asked for it. Okay, so now starts a very interesting question. Are women obligated in the mitzvah of Parshat Zachor or not? So the question is it a mitzvah connected to time? This is one of the issues. Is it a mitzvah connected to time or not? If it's a mitzvah connected to time, women are not obligated. If it's not a mitzvah connected to time, there's no particular time when you need to do the mitzvah, then women are obligated. So there's different opinions in halacha. It's a big argument in halacha. In fact, they bring down Reb Nosson Adler, who was the Rebbe of the Chassam Sofer, a very holy man. He used to make even his the maidservants, the Jewish maidservants, go to shul for Parshat Zachor. In other places, like the Teres Chesed was a Talmud of the Tzemach Tzedek. We never heard of such a thing that women go for Parshat Zachor. Officially, our minig is, the way we hold the women is not obligated in Parshat Zachor. So you have the big chassidim that take things that the Rebbe said out of context, like returning things that you want to, whatever, things like that. So then, because the Rebbe did say a few times in a Sikha, in Yiddish he said, "It's 40 la'achreina as vaybegein in shul for Parshat Zachor." The Rebbe said, like the custom people are doing lately, the women go to shul. That doesn't mean the Rebbe is saying women have to go to shul. The Rebbe said a fact. The fact is the women are going to shul because they make a big tzimis out of it. But the way we hold up Vaad Din, women are not obligated in Parshat Zachor. And even if they want to read Parshat Zachor, they could take it from a chumash and they could just read it. What? Zachor is biblical, according to all opinions.
Simply because it says Zachor, is that it?
No, because you mean Zachor means male? No, Zachor means to remember. The question is, does the Torah give you a particular time when you need to mention it? The Torah says, remember what Amalek did. The Torah doesn't say when. The Chachamim established it's good to do it before Purim. Why before Purim? Because Purim has to do with Haman, which came from Amalek, and therefore this is the appropriate time to remember it. But
We say it every day.
we say it every day. But the question is, the Chacham Institute should be done with a Sefer Torah. The Kriyas HaTorah and Sefer Torah.
Was Naaman derived from that?
What?
Was Naaman derived from that? Remember?
No, Oznei Haman or Haman Tashin.
I know, so
No.
unrelated.
No, it's not. Okay. Now, what happens though if a woman had a minig to always go to shul for Parshat Zachor? Now she decided, she doesn't have to go. So she has to be mata neder. She has to nullify the vow because she did something 3 times in a row that she did because she thought that this is the right way of doing it. But then she would have to be mata neder. But if there's a particular situation that came out, she got sick. Let's say she couldn't go to shul, then she wouldn't have to be mata neder. She wouldn't have to nullify the vow. What? Women are not obligated to hear Torah on Shabbos. The Torah reading, there's a letter from the Rebbe, but Torah reading of Shabbos is an obligation on the community, not on the individual. Individuals have to go listen to Kriyas HaTorah, but the chiyuv of Kriyas HaTorah that Moshe Rabbeinu instituted, because we learned already, Moshe Rabbeinu instituted Shabbos morning, Monday and Thursday. Shabbos afternoon, Torah reading was instituted by Ezra, not by Moshe Rabbeinu. After the Kriyas Yamsuf, when the Yidden came, it says over there, Vayelchu shloishes yomim b'midbar. They went 3 days in the midbar, they didn't find mayim, and they started complaining. That's when Moshe Rabbeinu was told to hit the rock, and he hit the rock. So the Moshe Rabbeinu derived that mayim is Torah. So if you have 3 days without Torah, you start complaining. So Moshe Rabbeinu instituted that you shouldn't go 3 days without Torah reading. So he made it Shabbos, Monday, and Thursday. So you never have 3 days without Torah reading. Ezra Sefer came later on, and he said there are people that don't go to shul during the week, only Shabbos. So he instituted Shabbos afternoon should also be a Torah reading, but they've now became established an obligation to read Torah on Shabbos afternoon. But that didn't come from Moshe Rabbeinu, that came from Ezra Sefer.
Rabbi, is it well accepted in all Rishonim, in your section, that it was Moshe Rabbeinu's decree and he really addressed that?
The Gemara says that Moshe Rabbeinu, it's a Mishnah. The Mishnah says Moshe Rabbeinu instituted Torah reading Monday, Thursday, and Shabbos morning. The Mishnah says that's oral tradition handed down from Moshe Rabbeinu at Har Sinai, like everything else in Torah. So that was Moshe Rabbeinu. Kriyas Yamsuf, according to Parshat, took 1 day. It didn't take 3 days. They went in, they went around, and Shvi Shel Pesach. We don't celebrate it 3 days. It's only Shvi Shel Pesach. Okay, you have to make sure if there's a mistake in the Sefer Torah, you have to do it again. And there's one more interesting thing, but the poskim right there's not an issue with it at all. Can a Sfardi listen to an Ashkenazic Torah reading for Parshat Zachor?
No.
And can Ashkenazi be yaitze from a Sfardi say reading because they're not their nusa. So the poskim, most poskim right. There's some people that, but most poskim right. Elu ve'elu divrei Elokim Chaim. They're both right. The Sfardi can hear from Ashkenazi. Ashkenazi can hear from a Sfardi. The Torah reading of Parshat Zachor, they definitely fulfill their obligation without any question at all. Okay, okay. Kids are the minhag is to bring kids for Parshat Zachor, like chinuch and all those.
This party's baby, he says Zecher, regardless, it should be safe one.
Doesn't matter.